Thank you for joining in again, Guruji. Today we are on to the third in the series of our interactions on Indian tradition and healing. And today we're going to touch upon a very sensitive subject, idolatry or deity worship or idol worship as it's commonly called. So I'm putting out the disclaimer right away because this is a sensitive subject and people have different interpretations. Over the years, over the ages, people have looked at it in a different way. So everyone has a different perspective to each and every aspect of idol worship. We are going to look at it from our, or in this case, your perspective as to how we should be looking at it. The general understanding is that in the Vedic era, the focus was more on yagnas and nature-based rituals. And subsequently, it transitioned into deity worship and temple worship. So what happened and how did this transition happen is something which we would like to know.
See, from the dawn of history, people or the thinking man was looking for something which is beyond his comprehension. Whatever he could understand through his senses didn't make him completely satisfied. So he was searching for something from within. But the tool of search was his senses. Then one day he came to know that the reality is beyond the senses, incomprehensible. There he said, this is religious. So the realization about the reality is called religion. From religion, these rituals started. Rituals are meant for communicating something which is beyond our intellect. Like philosophy, the higher facts, they wanted to bring it into mythological stories. Then that idea kept alive. From the mythological stories, the rituals introduced. Through the rituals, that belief kept maintained. Rituals are symbolication of the philosophical ideas. That is why in all temples, vigrahas are there. You know the meaning of vigraha? Visheshena grahyade idi vigraha. You have to understand the essence underlying in that symbol. That is what is called vigraha. Unless you understand that idea, that ritual is fruitless. In India, we were having two parallels of education. One was for material education and research, other for spiritual education and research. The universities, Sarva Kala Shala, schools, colleges, higher educational institutions combined these universities for material education. The other side was temples for spiritual practices and research. Modern education is focusing more on material science or only on material science. But spiritual education is completely kept as mysterious. Now, as modern people, we have to take out the mystery of the temples and rituals and idol worship. For that, we must understand its reality. When we understand that reality of ritual, that will take us to the reality of our own self. When we understand our own self, we will be eternally peaceful and joyful. That is the purpose of temples and idol worship.
Could you place some more importance on the significance of idol worship?
Idol worship, as I told you, is a symbol for achieving higher dimensions in our spiritual reality. It's like a road sign. When we drive in an unknown terrain, we need some signals or road signs kept by the people who have already gone through that way. If that road signs are there, we can make our journey safe and comfortable. These idols are like that. Like we have Muppatti Mukkodi Deivangal, means like 33 million gods we have. It's only a symbol. Actually, a creation is happening with 4 dimensions. Technically, we can say x-axis, y-axis, z-axis, and 0-axis. Without this 4 dimension, we cannot make a structure. In a yogic way, we can say conscious, subconscious, unconscious. We have 3 planes of consciousness along with the super consciousness. These are called Muppatti Mukkodi, mean we take the number of 100. 33, 33, 33, 99, then 1. Advaitam. Up to these 3 sections, we can say conscious, subconscious, unconscious. We know what's happening, the idea or the hormonal changes or thought process within us. But that 1% is beyond explanation. This is said as Ekam Sat Vipra Bahuda Vadanti. The whole manifesting universe is from one source, which is called the reality of existence, means God. When we understand that reality, we can say we are religious. Again, coming back to the idol worship. As I told you, when you go to a temple, we can see the Vigraha in the temple. That Vigraha is kept by a master who was well established in spiritual practices. How a Vigraha is made, either in a quality rock, stone, or a combination of metals. It's called Panchaloha. 5 metals will be combined each other to make a certain molecular combination. In that particular idol, master will infuse his energy, which is called Prana Pradishta. Then that energy will remain in that Vigraha. Then master will advise a Nitya Puja, daily worship pattern on that. Like as if we feed ourselves. You go to a temple, first you will get a prasad, a solid thing to be eaten. Second is Tirtha, quality water will be given. Then Diva Aradhana, they call it a certain kind of heat will be applied. Then Duba Aradhana, certain kind of incense will be used for air purification. Then a bell or mantra will be recited over there, a vibration of sound. So earth, water, fire, air and space, these 5 elements are enhanced over there, which will maintain the energy. So again, I give you an example. We cannot make a piece of iron into magnet. A particular molecular combination is maintained in a metal, which we call steel, can be kept in touch with a magnet. Gradually, that steel can be converted into magnet. Same way, if we get a certain quality in our body and mind and maintain that quality, go to the temple and be there in connection with the idol. Gradually, the energy which is kept inside the idol will be transmitted to us. That idol will work like an ignition which will flare up the yogic flame within our body. So this continuous temple visit will make us qualified, or it will give a support for our spiritual exploration. This is what is meant by the idol worship as a beginning of spiritual sadhana. Yes.
So basically what you're saying, Guruji, is that you go to office to absorb all the stress, and you go to temples to de-stress and recharge.
Technically, I can say yes. Now we go to the office for getting all stress, going to the temple to de-stress. But if we go to the temple in a regular basis and understand the ideology of the temple, then when we go to the office, we will not take any kind of stress. There also we can infuse our calmness over our workers, subordinates, or friends. When we go to a temple and understand its science behind it, we will start our inner self blossoming up like a wonderful flower. It will produce fragrance. It will make us more beautiful. Naturally, that radiance, that vibration will be spread to our family or spread to our environment. Others will start using it. This is what we have to do. If everybody is blossoming up like a flower, then what will be the condition of society? So in our office, we are not making any stress. On the other hand, we can make a comfortable vibration over there.
In this fast-paced world today where people are finding it difficult to find time for themselves, going to temple has become a rare activity. So what suggestion do you have for such people who are on a race to be at the top?
Temple visit is only a symbol. We have to understand the science behind the temple and idol. Understand that and adopt that technique in our daily life. You see, free animals and birds, they are not suffering from different kinds of diseases. Of course, diseases will come and they will come to know, or they know very well how to deal with that. And after a few days of fasting and eating some herbs, the animal will be working, or it is developing in a different plane. Same way, we can also develop our instinct. Instead of depending on our intellect, we can go deep into our instinct through these temple rituals. Then once it is adopted in the instinctive level, nature will become a wonderful friend for us, not an enemy. When we make that friendship with the environment, we will start smiling from within, because the inner level of confidence, courage will be changing our personality. Unless we understand the essence of the idol worship, it will work like a drama, which is not going to give any kind of benefit.
All right. Thank you so much, Guruji, for giving us an insight into the deity worship, its significance, the symbolism, and why should we be doing it, especially the science behind it. And our next topic would be astrology, and which will be coming up in the next 2 days. So stay tuned. Do like, comment, subscribe, and don't forget to share, especially hit the notification button to stay updated on the developments and the new videos which is coming on this channel. Thank you so much, and it's bye-bye from Shailesh.